What's going on, socialites, and welcome back to a long overdue update on the Draft League. Yes, it's still going on. Maybe you've been tuning in to the Season 10 playlist here on YouTube. Check that out if you haven't. A lot of our other content creators I've been posting there. I've been trying to share some of the good battles in the community tab as well. Sorry. This summer has been even busier than I expected it to be. I knew it was going to be busy, which was why I personally was not competing in the league this season, but man, it has just been non-stop. Can't even say I have the time to do this today, but plop my kid down in front of a TV while the other one is napping, so we'll see how long I can get the time to do this. But yeah, we are through 8 weeks. That says week 10. Technically, it's week 9 right now, but we're through 8 weeks. Free agency and trades are done, so all the teams are as they will be. So we can look through the standings, we can look through the teams. I asked the other coaches in the league to send me some tier lists. I was trying to get some people on, but again, I've just been so busy. Stuff keeps coming up, switching around. I'm going to be out of state this weekend, so yeah. So I just told them, send me your personal tier list, what you think, and I'll just compile them all and make like a compiled tier list on that. So we're going to take a look at the league, and then we're going to go through the teams, see who changed what. But yeah, taking a look here. The Oklahoma Thunderous at the top, still undefeated. Now, we'll take a look at the top 10 Pokemon later. Unfortunately, Oklahoma's had quite a few forfeit wins, so they haven't gone to, rack up those KOs and everything. We'll see if someone can take them down in the last couple of weeks. They do have to go up against at least one team that's doing pretty well, so we'll have to see how that turns out. But yeah, undefeated. See if they can close out the last couple weeks here. That would be Oklahoma's second undefeated season. The first one in Season 5, of course. But it's all about the playoffs. Oklahoma's got to make a good run at the championship this season to really cement themselves. Then we got a slew of 7-1 teams, only one loss for Paris Saint-Germain, the Scotland Stouts, Cerulean City Ascendancy, and the Mid-Valley Meowths. Couple new teams there. Scotland also just coming up from the minor leagues this season, so good to see a few teams doing well. And then PSG, without the Boston Braviaries in the East Division, they're running away with it. So good to see PSG there right now with the tiebreaker. Got that extra game win over everybody, so they're in second place. See if they can close out the last couple weeks. Love to see Andrew and Paris Saint-Germain doing well. Following all those 7-1 teams, we got the Phoenix Primals and the Simiwini Seers at 6-2. Just want to double back to PSG. They already clinched the East Division. I mean, as you see, there's no other orange on the screen here, so we'll see where the rest of the East Division lies. But yeah, ouch. So Phoenix and the Seers, 6-2, doing pretty well. Then you got Sin City at 5-3. Lavender Town, after starting out, I think they were 0-3 to start the season. They made a bunch of changes to their team and went on a huge run, so they are now in the playoff picture, sitting at 4-4. And rounding out the top 10 is the Chicago Scrafty, 3-5. But right now they are in the playoff picture. Scrolling down here, you do see there is another 3-5 team. Huge shout out to Brittany and the Montreal Milotics. First time someone's taken up the Montreal banner since Season 3 when they won the championship. They still got a shot at making the playoffs. I have to see how they can close out the last couple weeks, but very, very good first season for them, I think. You know, staying competitive, staying in the picture. Then you got a slew of 2 and 6 teams. Driftvale City Dragapults and Seattle Shiny Sylveons still within striking distance. You see the third number over that, 8 there for both of them. 2 match wins, 6 match losses, 8 game wins. That gives them a really good tiebreaker against those other teams that are 3 and 5 right now. So if one of those 3 and 5 teams either loses a couple games or, you know, goes 1 and 1, and the 2 and 6 teams right there with Dragapults in Seattle can get a couple wins, they could still get into the playoffs. Thanks to those game wins that they got, some good tiebreakers there. So we'll have to see if they can turn things around here. El Paso and Black City Zekroms, of course, still got a shot because there are some 3 and 5 teams. They still got a shot if they can win out. Maybe something could happen there. And then the 1 and 7 teams, Vero, New York finally got a win, and Florida, unfortunately, not going to be doing much the rest of the season here. Maybe they can play spoiler to some teams looking to advance playoff seeding. And then we got 2 0 and 8 teams. Tuscaloosa and Diamond Desert Dwellers both dropped out of the league during week 3. So, yeah, they are, you know, not competing right here. You're going to see a lot of teams, though, with Pokemon that were on Tuscaloosa and Diamond Desert to start the season, because we did put all those Pokemon back into the free agent pool since they dropped out so early. Just wanted to give people the opportunity to use those Pokemon if they wanted. So yeah, playoff picture taking shape. Let's take a look at our top 10 Pokemon here. We got Annihilate for the Phoenix Primals with 33 KOs. Far and away the KO leader there. But Oklahoma Thunderous with their Goldango, who was at the top for a while. Again, Oklahoma has, you know, gone several weeks where they just haven't been able to battle due to other people dropping or whatever. So that Goldango, though, 23 and 0, has not been killed at all. So we'll have to see, can Goldango show up these next couple weeks, maybe pick up 3 or 4 more games played and keep that perfect season. Should be interesting for sure. Then we got the Torkoal from the Scotland Stouts. Torkoal just erupting over everyone, getting huge KOs. Cerulean City Ascendancy with their Tyranitar. We see another weather setter there, doing some good work. Walking Wake of the Sin City Squirtles, been a huge offensive threat as well. Very good defensive typing as well, so it's hard to get knockouts on it before it can knock out Sin City's opponents. Cerulean City got another version of Tyranitar here, the Paradox Iron Thorns. So 2 T-Tars up here, both of them on the Ascendancy. Pretty cool. Iron Hands, the offensive Trick Room threat for PSG. Bronzong, crazy. Bronzong at number 8 for the Simiwini Sears. That's been on their rain team. Bronzong's been their offensive threat, which is pretty crazy. Slitherwing, another Pokemon for the Scotland Stout, showing how strong it can be. We all know how strong it was for my team, the Boston Braviaries, last season in singles. Loved me some Slitherwing. And this one's surprising as well. Seattle picked up Dondozo Tatsuguri several weeks ago, and even though it's a pretty telegraphed strategy, Dondozo's still doing very well there. 17 KOs, poking into the top 10. All right, now we're going to go through, we're going to take a look at all these teams, see what they've done differently here. So starting off with the Black City Zekrom, and we'll also go through and start putting these into a tier list as well. So Black City Zekrom, they made a bunch of changes at the start of free agency. You see they're picking up Excalibur, Farigiraf, who they then dropped for Saraledge a couple weeks later, Palmot, and Phalanx. Palmot's been interesting. They've been bringing back like Driftblim a lot and other stuff. So that's why like you see the KO numbers are a little wonky. Black City not having their best season. They did have a couple forfeit losses as well. And with all the changes, you don't really see a lot of the games. But yeah, overall, the team's a little all over the place for me. Driftblim's not a bad Tailwind setter, being immune to Fake Out. So you can do stuff like invest in the bulk of it so it can survive a lot of attacks. You can have Fake Out support with Palmot. You could put Mental Herb on it so it can't be taunted, stuff like that. So they have like some speed control. They have some good support with Palmot as well. Driftblim 2 getting like Will-O-Wisp. Saraledge can do Will-O-Wisp stuff. They got offensive threats like Excalibur, although no one picked up Qianpao, so I think Qianpao would have been a better pickup than Excalibur. Just it really could have been an interesting combo with all their other physical attackers, as you see, Saraledge, Palmot, Bisharp. A lot of stuff there, but yeah, let's take a look at where we had them in the post-draft. So they were solid middle of the pack in B rank. Obviously, a lot of changes since then. So where did everyone compile them this time? They unfortunately fell way down into the D rank. Yes, unfortunate. The D rank for Black City Zekrom. I'm sure they would say that their season has reflected that as well. Still got a shot though, we'll have to see. But yeah, overall, just not a lot of consistency with the team, not a lot of synergy between the pieces. I think if this was Qianpao or Excalibur, you could definitely see it move up to definitely C, maybe even B. Like that's just how good Qianpao is. But yeah, you got Excalibur, so that's that. Next, we got the Cerulean City Ascendancy. Did a couple changes here, grabbing that Iron Thorns, who we've seen has made its way into the top 10. And also grabbing Staraptor, which does give them another Tailwind setter, gives them an Intimidator, so a couple solid pickups. Cerulean City doing very well this season. However, I do think that their team, outside of the double T-Tar, like Sand defensive, offensive core, like they do lack some synergy. Rotom's like a solid Pokemon. You see they brought to a lot of games, and from what the looks of it, it's been pretty annoying for teams. And then Hisuian Zoroark, they've also brought quite a bit, which is more just like a prediction thing, right? It's like, okay, do they know it's the Zoroark, or do they think it's something else? Like if you have it come in as the Iron Thorns Photosynthesis wouldn't proc unless it had a booster energy. So people might think it's the Iron Thorns and might, therefore think it's slower and a physical attacker. Then you got this fast special attacker that can be immune to like Fake Out and stuff. And we've been seeing them bring Honchkrow a lot more lately. I think they might be using Honchkrow as their Tailwind setter. Immune to Prankster, of course. Yeah, I haven't gotten to see too many of their games, to be honest, so I'm just kind of like thinking out loud, but we do see that they've brought it quite a few times, and it has also died quite a few times, so I think it's been more of like a setup sort of thing. Previously, we had them sitting up in the A rank, and after compiling everyone's stuff, we actually see they have fallen quite a bit here. Yeah, ouch. They have fallen all the way down to C. So, why is that? What's the difference here? Why do people not like the Ascendancy? And they're doing well. Let's not forget. I do believe they are 7-1 here. Let's take another look here. Yeah, 7-1, currently in 4th place. But why are people not high on this team? Again, I did kind of say, like, oh, other than, like, the, you know, getting the defense boost on both Cheetah Iron Thorns, like, is there a lot of, like, synergy here? There's, like, a lot of offensive but frail Pokemon. Yeah, and you can see, like, their C ranked Pokemon don't really, like, help them too much. They've been bringing Honchkrow, which has definitely been doing well for them given their record, but yeah, overall, I think it's a lack of synergy here that is taking people off of them. But let me know what you think. That this is definitely one of the bigger discrepancies as far as, you know, they dropped from A to C, and they've been doing really well. So again, this is like compiling everyone's data together. All right, next we got the Chicago Scrafty. They only made one trade. They picked up the Ting Lu that was on the Diamond Desert Dwellers. Hasn't been going off for them too much, but looks like they've been going more into the Trick Room side of things with their Oranguru. Gudra can do well under Trick Room. Of course, Ting Lu doesn't mind that, being able to go first. Crocodile, who started off with like a double sweep in week 1, you see since then it hasn't really done too much. Magneton's actually been their main offensive threat. Chicago finds themselves in the playoffs right now, but they are on the bubble. Post-draft, we had them in C rank. And I do believe that is where they currently are still, yes. Still in the C rank here, below the Ascendancy. Yeah, I mean, they didn't really change their team around too much. You could even argue, like, Ting Lu isn't necessarily better than Gyarados. I mean, it gives them a lot more bulk. I don't hate it. I probably think it's better than Gyarados on their team, but I think they might have needed to do some other stuff, like get rid of Floatzel and maybe upgrade Muck a little bit. Next we got the Driftvale City Dragapults. They've made quite a few changes here. Traded for Bombardier, picked up Poltegeist, picked up Gastrodon, Rotomo, and Houndstone. So quite a few changes for them. Still got that Sandcore, Garchomp, Hippowdon. Gastrodon can either be Storm Drain if they're for water types, or it could even be Sand Force to be a surprising offensive Gastrodon. Rotomo gives them more stuff to combat water types. Houndstone can be a bulky Pokemon, as well as Sandrush and Last Respect, so that gives them another offensive threat at the end of games. We haven't seen it do too much yet, but they've only had it a couple weeks, so we'll have to see if it can do some Sandrush, Last Respect stuff. But it gives them access to things like Will-O-Wisp along with Rotom. Toedscruel hasn't been doing too much. It's basically like a... I don't know. It's weird, right? Because Mycelium Might just takes away its best stat, which is its speed, for doing stuff like Spore and everything. But it can still be annoying. We haven't seen it do too much for them, of course. Yeah, Poltegeist did well the one game that they brought it, so we'll have to see if that comes back for them. But yeah, following the draft, they were a lower B rank team, and they have actually fallen down to the C rank, below the Ascendancy. So people coming off of them a little bit. You know, they swapped Rotoms But honestly, I think the team overall is better. I think people are just... Some people might be looking at the record a little bit. I don't hate this team. It's got a lot of ground types, though. I'll say that. A lot of ground types. So, a lot of ice weakness. Maybe that's what people are looking at, because you got 1, 2... Like, if you're running Sun with Freeze Dry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pokemon weak to ice moves, especially Freeze Dry with Gastrodon. So, yeah. Moving on, El Paso Electros. Another team that just looking at, they didn't make any changes. If we look in the post-draft, they were down in the D rank, so they haven't changed anything. So where's that going to put them now? You would think, oh, they haven't changed anything, they got to be in D rank. For some reason, people are high on this team. A lot higher. Up to B. B rank. Why is that? Why do they like them? It's not their record. El Paso sits at 2-6. So it's not like a thing where they're like 6-2 and people are looking at that and everything. I don't know. What do you think? They got fairies. They got steel types. They're kind of just like, can Sylveon and Dragonite do it sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. People like this team. I'm not sold on it, obviously. Dragonite's been seeing a lot of usage alongside Chienpao. Obviously, you can't do that here. But it is still strong. Choice Band. Terra Normal, Extreme Speed stuff. They do have an Intimidator with Mabosif, who they've been bringing quite a bit. This Magius. Sylveon just with, you know, you could be like Specs or Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, just doing big damage to stuff. Yeah, I don't know. People seem to like it. So, let me know what you think. I think Ascendancy dropping from A to C and El Paso going up from D to B, and just where both their records are. It's interesting. Let me know your thoughts on those two. What do you think? Again, we got quite a few tier lists in, so I'm just compiling the numbers here. I'm just a messenger. But yeah, interesting. Florida for Alligators, another team that didn't change anything. So where were they post-draft? They were also in D. So did they shoot up just like El Paso did? Are people higher on them? No, not really. They did go up to the C rank, but they are at the bottom of C. Taking a look at their team, not a lot of like defensive bulk. Like Great Tusk is good, like against, like they got physical bulk with Great Tusk and Earthworm. Just not like no speed control really, no real support options here. Just really tough stuff there. Yeah, overall just nothing spectacular about this team, but some teams liked it enough to put into C rank. We had in D before. I think that's reasonable. Again, this team just isn't able to do too much overall. Doesn't have any support options. You know, it's slow. It's a slow team other than like Jolteon, which is predictable. Yeah. I don't know, maybe if you just like, I don't know, you probably got Specs. You gotta do like Specs, Jolteon, Terra, Ice or something, and Helping Hand on Earthworm. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to defend it. Nothing changed, so if you want a more in-depth thing, you can go back to the old podcast where we ranked everything. Alright, Laventtown Gengars, they made a bunch of moves here. They picked up Florges. After Tuscaloosa left, they picked up Iron Bundle, Abomasnow, Titan, and Houndoom, so they basically became the new Tuscaloosa. They traded Cinderace for Lucario, and then traded it back for Salamence, which again was another Tuscaloosa Pokemon that Vero ended up picking up. So yeah, you see, basically, if you liked what Tuscaloosa's team looked like at the start of the season and are disappointed that they dropped out, you got Lavender Town now to root for. So yeah, the post-draft, we had them all the way down in C rank. Where do we see them now that they picked up all these ice types? They moved up to a solid B team. Yeah, I mean, they've gone like 4-1 since they made these changes, so obviously it's been doing well for them. You see Iron Bundle and Satian both have good KO ratios. Sorry about that. Got interrupted with the kid. What was I going with? Yeah, so, you know, good stuff. Solid team. They got redirection with the Venomoth too, so they're doing well. Definitely they have fought their way back into the playoff picture. Let's see if they can close it out. You know, one more win should guarantee it for them. So let's see. This is the second season too where Lavender Town's come back and fought their way from a bad start into the playoff picture. Right, next we got the Mid-Valley Meowths. They only made one change, picking up Beartick, who they haven't even used it yet. So a lot of stuff. This Tauros has been doing really well for them. They've made a comment that like it's the best C tier. Probably when we do the tier list, I usually start off with just based on like usage statistics, and obviously like this Tauros is worse than the other two Tauros, the Blaze and Aqua. So those were both like A tier. When you look at VGC usage statistics, of course, if those two are going to be high usage, this one's going to be low. So maybe this should have been a B, but I don't think it's like too crazy. It's like it'll fold to any special attacker for the most part. But yeah, let's see where we had them in the post-draft. They were a solid B tier. They've done really well this season, and we've seen them move up in the rankings because of that. They are a high A tier team now. Yeah, I mean, overall very solid. Grimmsnarl's a great prankster Pokemon. King Gambit is scary. Serena shuts off, you know, priority stuff. Noivern gives you Tailwind. So, like, even something like a Serena Noivern team, so that Noivern can't be faked out or taunted, can give you a really good head start. Or a Grimmsnarl. Serena, like, you know, they haven't brought Serena too much, but I do think it's a good linchpin for them. And then, of course, they have the Intimidate with Tauros over there. Yeah, very solid team, and they've been performing well. Montreal Milotics, we talked about them. Still got a shot at the playoffs there, just right outside of the bubble. They've really gone hard picking up Indeedee, Palisade, and Mimikyu. Like a lot of Pokemon that, you know, can set up or benefit from Trick Room. The Ursaring's been their main offensive Pokemon. I would have liked them to do a little bit more with that. If you're getting so many Trick Room setters, just go all in and try and get, like, you know, Hariyama and some other like slow but strong Pokemon. I think would have been nice. So we saw them as the bottom team following the draft. Now they made a bunch of changes. So where do we find them? Unfortunately, we still find them at the bottom. Again, I think just because, yeah, they changed their strategy around, going with like a really strong Trick Room setters and everything, which I don't think is necessarily bad. I just would have liked more Pokemon that could take advantage of that. You know, get rid of this Pincurchin. Like, I don't think it's doing anything. Even get rid of like Clodsire, and just pick up some other strong, slow Pokemon to take advantage of that. The New York Mankeys, unfortunately, won. forever a minor league, you know, hero. We have these coaches that do well in the minor leagues, make their way up to the major leagues, and then fall back down after like a season. Unfortunately, that seems to be what's happening with New York here. They have made quite a few changes. They got Iron Valiant, Slowking, Ampharos, and Toxicroak. I like some of the C tier changes. I don't know about Ampharos over Luxray. At least Luxray gives you Intimidate, but I like Toxicroak. Slowking's fine to get a water type because they drop Gastron. Iron Valiant adds more offense. You see, though, it hasn't been giving them any offense. Yeah, they got like Intimidate. They got Fire, Water, Grass. They got, you know, just a strong, fast attacker, Iron Valiant. They got, you know, Intimidate and Burn to take care of physical attackers, and they got Blissey for special attackers. You figure it'd be all right. Obviously, their record hasn't shown it. Following the draft, they were a C tier team. We've seen them improve now up to the low B. You know, they got Spore, the fastest Spore user in Breloom. You know, accounting for Mycelium Might from Toedscruel. I wonder how like a Grafai Toedscruel team would be, like doodle something onto Toedscruel so you get like super fast spores. I don't know. That could have been something someone could have tried. All right, our undefeated team, Oklahoma Thunderous. They picked up the Water Tauros and Salazzle. I didn't mind Raichu. Like, at least it says, like, no to electric attacks, but not like their team is super weak to electric other than Tauros. So Salazzle giving them a fire and poison type. I don't know if you really needed the poison type, but maybe they're afraid of, like, steals. So they wanted, like, a faster fire type. Can also do fake out Will-O-Wisp stuff. Following the draft, they were a solid B tier team. And with their undefeated season right now, they have moved up to A tier. Right behind the Meowths. Yeah, I mean, I want to see this Goldango keep going off. Pretty cool stuff there. PSG Trick Room team doing PSG things, not changing their team at all. Yeah, got Indeedee, got Hatterene as your Trick Room setters. Psychic Terrain, great stuff. Root Bonnet gives you Spore, gives you Rage Powder, a lot of good stuff. And Iron Hands just kills things. So pretty solid Trick Room team. We saw them as a C rank actually. Oof, you know. Maybe we ranked them a little too harshly in the post draft. Now, compiling from everyone else, we see them shooting up to A, right behind Oklahoma. Their record definitely defends that ranking. And I think, you know, the combo of like Indeedee, Hatterene, just making sure you get that Trick Room up, and then just having strong attacks to follow it has definitely propelled them. Iron Hands too, like arguably the best fake out user in the game. From what a lot of people say, Assault Vest, really good stuff. You basically just put like, you don't even have to put like a lot of attack stat into it. You just put like HP and defense, and then put the Assault Vest on with fake out, Wild Charge, you know, Drain Punch, and then like whatever coverage you want, Ice Punch or whatever. Pretty good. Oh, we still got some teams to go through. Okay, my son is waking up, so we gotta go through these real quick. Okay, so Phoenix, not adding too much. They added Oricorio there, but we haven't seen him bring too much. But that does give them a Tailwinder. They were A rank post draft. Now we see them actually slide down to the top of B from everyone's compilation. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have liked to see them try the slacking Grafai thing. I think they brought it once, but yeah, I mean, obviously Hypno did like crazy for them, so we'll have to see how it does. Moving forward, Scotland Stouts, who was our quintessential S rank following the draft, still got their Sun core. They had Scoville dropping Charizard. That gives them a little bit more speed, but takes away some power for them. And they picked up Lycanroc. Yeah, no guard stuff, I guess. I don't really know. Again, just getting rid of Sawsbuck, so one Chlorophyll user for another. Where do we have them now? They've actually slid down a little bit, down to lower A. Still having a really good season. Oh, I think the team is solid. Like, it's just a solid Sun team, right? I guess if you have, like, a team that can, you know, change the weather consistently. But they do have Kilowattrel, which is, you know, going to shut down some rain teams. Like, if they think you're going to bring, like, Rain Dance or go up against, like, the other rain team, then, you know, you just bring, like, Thunder Hurricane and, you know, Specs or Focus Sash or something. Alright, Seattle, they made a bunch of changes with the Dondozo Tatsuguri. Very cool stuff there. Also got Altaria. Probably combat a bunch of these weather teams that we see. See how can they get back into the playoff picture. Prior, they were a lower C. People have liked this team, though, since picking up the Dondozo. We actually see them moving up to lower B right here above New York. So people like what Dondozo's been doing. Yeah, and obviously it's been getting a lot of KOs. Hasn't really been turning into wins too much. We'll have to see how Seattle closes out the season. They are still in the playoff picture. They do have good tiebreakers. Simeon Sears, the Rain team here, didn't change it at all, which I'm kind of surprised because I drafted this team for them, and I'm not going to say it's like my best work, but they've been doing well. They've been liking it. Had them high A after the draft, so maybe that's why they liked it so much. They have gone down a little bit, still an A. We just see them over here towards the bottom, actually at the bottom of A, behind Scotland. Again, guys, I gotta breeze through these last couple because my son is telling me to get the heck upstairs. Sin City Squirtles, the Sun team that does not have the Sun, but as you can see, they've basically been using Jump Fluff for that. Prior, we saw them lower B. Where do the people like them now? They have actually slid down to C rank. Didn't make a lot of changes. Picked up a Simeon who we haven't really seen. Picked up Zangoose. Again, who hasn't done too much. Maybe people like the Electrode because it was like a... Actually, I don't know why you would like Electrode. But anyway, teams are doing well. Walk and Wake has been crushing it. Fluttermane, maybe this is like a prediction thing. People are preparing for it. Haven't seen a lot of Typhlosion. I think like Scarf Typhlosion, or if you're able to do Tailwind, could be really strong. Alright, sorry about that. Continuing on, just got one more team to go. The Vero Beach Volcarona. A bunch of changes here, you see. Bunch of changes. Picked up Inteleon, but they got rid of that for Salamence, which they got rid of for Cinderace, which they initially had but got rid of for Lucario. They picked up Morgrem, they picked up Palafin, picked up Avalugg, and picked up Klefki. So they got 2 pranksters here, kind of double dipping a little bit. Honestly, Morgrem's probably just a better Klefki. You know, obviously a little less bulky, less slightly worse typing, but they both do screens, Thunder Wave stuff, and Morgrem gets Fake Out and Taunt, so, and Parting Shot. Anyway, Palafin hasn't done much for them. It's an awkward Pokemon to use. I think you really got to have like a skill team level for Palafin, and even I'm not confident to use it, even when it was good. Now it's starting to fall off a little bit. See if it comes back for the World Championships. Doubt it. It's just, you know, Chimpao Dragonite's too strong. Anyway, where did they have it? Before it was down in the D. And that is where we find it still, sitting right here. So no one got S rank based on the compilations. However, there were a few teams that got S rank votes. I guess if we had to give an S rank, it would probably go to Mid Valley Meowths. They were they're the highest ranked team in A that actually got an S vote, although it was from themselves, so bias. Anyway, so yeah, we'll have to see which of these teams, you know, can fit their tier list, I guess. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm running out of steam now. I got 2 kids. Yeah, so what are your thoughts though? El Paso in the B rank. What do you think about that? What do you think about Ascendancy, Sin City falling down to the C rank? Do you think any of the A teams deserve to be S tier? Let me know your thoughts. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry I haven't been recording as much as I would like to. Stay classy, society.